he had a crush on me. I had this one friend, let's call him it's almost as if I died, like, to them. Hola amigos, and welcome to today's mukbang. So for today's mukbang, we have a ton of ice candy, and these are all the way from Denmark. Yes, these are basically my childhood. I used to eat them tons when I was in Denmark. And this video is sponsored by Mommy, my grandma. She sent us all of these from Denmark in a balikbayan box, which is basically like a box that family from abroad usually send their Filipino family in the Philippines. I'm sweating like crazy. Anyways, let's get started, shall we? Yes, we shall. So I'm going to start with the peach. So this is peach, or fersken in Danish. And if you did not know, is in Danish means ice cream. So I have a piece of paper, and then the way I open this, you usually cut it open with a scissor, but I'm just going to do it like this. Don't do that at home, kids. It's not good for your teeth, but I do it all the time. So looks like this inside. Pops up. Oops. Oh my god. Oh my god. Guys, I could eat these forever. The thing about this is they are made with fruit juice. Just tastes so fresh. Oh my god. If you're Danish, probably know about these, but if you're not Danish and you're in Denmark, buy these guys. Sun lolly. When you buy popsicles, they usually taste like chemicals. These don't taste like chemicals. Oopsie. So guys, for today's video, I have a story time. And my friend Audrey from Australia recommended me to make this video. Tell you guys the story because I told her about it the other day. We were chatting back and forth. And the topic about boyfriends came up. She asked me if I ever had a boyfriend, if I've ever had a boyfriend. And I said no, unless my childhood best friend counts, because so this story, it's a very interesting one to me at least. It could totally turn into a movie. Like, it's such a movie-like story. That's it, I finished it so quickly. I finished these so fast. Okay, let's try these. This is the creamy strawberry. And this is like a new edition that they have. It's called jordbær in Danish. And I love these, but I love the ones without milk more, because I did not grow up with these creamy ones, but you know, it's actual ice cream inside, guys. It's creamy, see? I wish this camera was an autofocus one. Okay. Can you see that? Really yummy still. Denmark is so good with ice cream. Like, wow. Okay, anyways, back to the story. So, growing up, I had a lot of friends. The story begins when I was like 5 years old, and I was in Sweden. I grew up in Sweden. And I got a lot of friends because all of us, we grew up together. We went from kindergarten to grade 1 to 6th grade together, like in the same class. And my mom and I, we lived in a pretty small town, so everyone knew each other. Now, I had a lot of girl friends, like friends that are girls, and a lot of boys that are my friends. And a lot of those boyfriends were like, I was really close with them. Like they were basically my brothers. And the thing is, when you grow up with a friend who's a boy, sometimes those boys, because they're really close to you, they really know you and they like you as a friend, sometimes they develop feelings for you. It's very normal for guys to develop feelings for the girls. The girls can also develop feelings for the guys, but usually the girls don't, at least in my experience, from my friend's experience. I had this one friend, let's call him did that just happen? Good thing I have tissue next to me. I'm such a clumsy girl. Why does this taste better now? Okay, next I can't even tell you guys a story. Strawberry, I mean raspberry, it's called hindbär in Danish. Okay, so this boyfriend of mine, boy who is a friend. Oh my god, this is so good. Okay, he started developing feelings for me without me knowing it. So we were like 6 years old or something, and every day he would come to my house. Let's call him, I want to give him a name, you know. These melt so fast, it's so hot in here. Let's call him Nick. No, Chad. No, Jack. Let's call him, no, Derek. Okay, let's call him Derek. Derek and I, we grew up together. He was Persian, I'm half Persian. So I'm like, we became really close. But every day, he would come to my house, to my apartment, and he would pick me up and we would go to school together, because in Sweden it's really normal for you to go to school alone, like even if you're just 6 years old. And there's no school bus, so we would walk to school, just, you know, as kids, because it's pretty safe in Sweden. I was like weirded out about it, because I was like, why is he always here? I was too young and too naive to understand the reason why he was always there is so that he could like see me more. Every day he would pick me up and we would walk to school together, we would talk. And the funny thing is, I don't remember this, but my mom told me this story. And so every day we walked to school, but then one day I was like, so Derek, why are you always here? I was so mean. I was like, why are you always picking me up? I was honestly just confused. I didn't say that to hurt his feelings, you know. And he was like, oh. And he got like embarrassed. And I was like, I really did not know, you know. I couldn't understand why he was like hurt by it. Strawberry or you're bad. And then he didn't talk to me. He didn't like come to my house anymore. But then once we started like 2nd grade, we were still close, but he wouldn't come to my house every morning anymore. So in school, we would always talk and play, you know, we were still really close. And I remember this one day, I asked my best friend, let's call her Allison. And Allison, she was the best. And she's also Persian. So her and Derek, Allison and Derek were also best friends. We kind of had a Persian friend group. Allison and Derek lived in the same apartment complex. So they lived over here, I lived way over there, but it was still in the same neighborhood. And so Allison overheard Derek talking about me. Like they were in the hallway, because there was basically the apartment complex is like, there's like 3 apartments in the 1st floor, and then you have to go up a staircase, and then there's 3 more apartments, and then up a staircase, and then 3 more apartments. And Allison lived on the 3rd floor, I think, and Derek lived on the 2nd. And Allison heard Derek tell another friend that he had a crush on me. That was shocking, because Allison obviously told me, because we were best friends. She was like,
Derek has a crush on you.
I was like,
what? No. No, it doesn't.
And she was like,
Yeah, he really has a crush on you.
And I couldn't believe it because to me, it's so sad. To me, Derek was my best friend. And he was also like a brother to me. Coca-Cola! I'm going to get a sugar high after this. How much sugar is in this? I kind of don't want to look, but it doesn't say. That's good. And so, oh, I love it. To me, he was like a brother. And I was so weirded out. I was like, what? I was like, I think I was like 7 years old or 8. And I had no feelings for him. I had a huge crush on another boy since 1st grade. And so I was way too occupied on that guy. And I really did not have any feelings whatsoever for Derek. I don't know, I don't remember like what happened after I found out about that, but I have a funny story about us. So we were wrestling together in the water in a lake. I think we were like maybe 7 or 8 years old, something like that, maybe even 6. My mom took us to the lake and we were swimming, and then we decided to wrestle. And I think Derek went easy on me because obviously I was a girl. I mean, I am a girl. I think he went easy on me, but I was I'm a very like independent when it comes to things like that. Like, I don't want to lose, and I don't care if I look insane or if I look crazy doing it. I just don't want to lose, especially to a guy. I was like, oh no, because in Sweden it's like women have power too, you know. You're not like these flimsy creatures. And so I did my best and I took him down. And he went down in the water and he lost. And he got like, he was so shocked. And then I guess like my personality was too strong. Like, I started becoming like really like strong. And when I say strong, I mean like I would do things on my own. I didn't want him to help me with anything. Like, I was very like, I can do it. I wouldn't let, like, I'm always like that. Like, when guys like try to be like really nice and would be like, oh, let me help you up, and they would like take your hand, and, you know, take, like, if you're like going up a mountain and then they want to take your hand and like help you up, I'm always like, no, I can do it on my own. I hate feeling like helpless and feeling like a damsel in distress. I'm not like that at all. I would never like fake and be like, oh, I'm so weak, please help me, Prince Charming. And I'm not like that. I don't like being like that. I know a lot of girls like try to make themselves seem weaker and stuff like that, so that guys would be attracted, because guys really love helping girls. They feel so powerful. I'm not like that, which probably explains a lot. When we hit 6th grade, I've tried all of the flavors now, guys. My favorite is the peach, and I like this one too also. Is that ASMR? I don't have any nails, any long nails though. Let's have another one of these. When we hit 6th grade, that's basically where our relationship ended. In kindergarten until 5th grade, I almost said his name. Derek and I were best friends and really close because we were also in the same class. And obviously when you're in the same class, you're always together and stuff, but in 6th grade we all switched school, because 1st grade to 5th grade, that's one school. It's basically like, I guess it's like middle school in Sweden. And then 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th, those are the only grades you have to do. Like, I feel like that's like high school. That's like where the old kids are. 1st to 5th grade, that's until you're like 11. And then when you're like 12 years old or so, that's when you start 6th grade. And so in 6th grade, they all mixed us up with other kids from other school. from other schools, and we went all to this, I guess, high school, and they mixed us up, so we weren't together anymore. I was with 2 of my best friends, and then I got new friends, and that was really crazy. Like, that school was so big, and I felt like I was in the US because there were lockers. I loved that school. I loved it. Anyways, that's when our relationship ended, Derek and I feel like that could be a movie. And the funniest thing is, he's now like in medical school, and he might even have graduated. Maybe he's like an intern now, I don't know. Growing up, he was like into sports. I mean, he was pretty smart. His grades were quite good without him even trying. So when I think about it now, like, that does make sense, because he was, I mean, he's pretty smart. I feel like he wasn't even trying, but he was so good still. But I thought he would be like a soccer player. And I don't know why I wasn't attracted to him. I mean, he's pretty cute. He was always nice to me, but I don't know why I was so mean. Anyways, that school of mine, I can't eat anymore, guys. I feel like I'm going to barf. I've tried every flavor, and then this I tried twice, and oh my god, I love them. Anyways, that school, 6th grade until 6th, 7th, 8th, and 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th? Is it only like, oh, we only study until 9th grade. Yeah, it's not until 10th, it's only until 9th. Oh my god, we barely study in Sweden. Anyway, I want to make like a story about that school, because oh my god, that school, I don't think I knew how lucky I was, because that school, guys, we were so excited to get into there because it was huge, and every week we had a sewing class, and then we had woodwork class, which was when you like work with wood, and like you make different things with wood, and you carve it and you shape it into stuff. I don't know. And those 2 classes were awesome. Like, it was basically just learning a new skill. I think we got graded on it, but it was really easy. And then we had music class and art class, guys, drawing and stuff like that. Oh, I loved it so much. And I mean, there were so many like extracurricular classes, I guess you could call them, like artsy classes. Then we had PE. And PE, we did not have that in school. We had to like walk pretty long way, like 10 minutes. That's quite long for us. Into this huge like stadium, and basically a lot of people do like professional soccer playing in there, and it was like a professional place. It looked like one of those like public for everyone kind of place. There was a swimming pool, and you would get lost in there. It's so huge. And there was a track field, and I really did enjoy it. I was only there for 6 months, and then we moved to the Philippines, but I mean, I really did enjoy that school. I had a hard time because everything became harder, like the classes. You would switch classes. It wouldn't be only in one class. We got so used to just sitting down, and the teachers would be the ones who came to us. But that school was quite modern. Like, we had a schedule, and then we would leave our books in the locker, just like in the States. We leave our books in the locker. We left our books in the locker, and our bag and everything in the locker. And then we looked at our like schedule. We went to the class, and then we had to like run from one class to another because we had like 10 minutes in between. And then the food was quite good, actually. Like, it was still like Bamba food. Bamba is basically what we call like the food court. We call it Bamba. I do not know why we call it Bamba, but we did. And when I think about it right now, it does make me sad that I wasn't able to finish in there. You know, all those 4 years. I really wish I could have, but we did move to the Philippines, and like, if I went back in time, I still would not have stayed behind, because my mom did ask me if I wanted to stay in Sweden. And I obviously said no, because if I would have like stayed in Sweden, I don't think I would be able to handle that. I was like 12 years old. I needed my mom, you know. I don't know, I got so many friends. Like, I had my old friends and I had new friends. Like, I was quite social. Like, I had a friend group and I wasn't friends with everyone, but in my class I had tons of friends and guy friends. Like, I miss that. I miss having so many friends to talk to. Like, I always had somebody I could talk to, you know. I wish I could like live those 4 years now, you know. So anyways, if you're in school, guys, if you're in high school especially, I know it's like, oh, it's so hard and you hate it, you hate your teachers, you hate your classes, but just do your best with the subjects. But also remember, like, your friends, you might never, I know this sounds so sad, but you might never see them again after high school. And I really mean that. Like, that might actually, those 4 years might be your only years with them. And then after that, unless you go to college together, unless you still all live in the same town, you don't move away, then yeah, you might grow up together. But usually the case is that usually not the case. Usually you're in high school together and you have fun, and then everyone moves away, you know, and it sucks. It's sad to say, but I haven't spoken to any of them since I was probably like 16 years old. We tried to keep in touch, my friends and I. We tried to keep in touch like through emails and video calls. And while I was in the Philippines for those 2 years, we kept in pretty good touch. Like, we did chat and stuff. In the end, I was only talking to one friend. It was Allison, the girl I talked about earlier, and we talked together even when I lived in Denmark. But the breaking point for me was when we were planning on meeting, because she had a school trip in Denmark, and I was like, oh, let's meet. And I had bought so many things for her. Like, I bought tons of stuff, and we had like prepared to meet. Like, I even thought about which cafes we could eat at, you know, stuff like that. I was like 15, 16 years old. Planned it for a long time. Like, I bought so much stuff for her in the body shop, like makeup and stuff. And then she said, I don't remember exactly if she was already back in Sweden or if she said they were too busy or something like that. And we did not end up meeting, and that kind of broke the relationship for me, because we hadn't seen each other for like 4 years or 3 years. And it's fine if we couldn't meet just because they're busy, but she shouldn't have, like, I felt like she led me on, you know. I know it's a friendship and not a, you know, a relationship, you know, boyfriend girlfriend, but I mean, I feel like she led me on, kind of like she was like, yeah, we're going to meet. And then, I mean, I don't care if we even met for just 1 second. Like, if she could just say like, oh, we're at this museum, I would have gone straight to that museum. We could have, you know, met even for a few seconds, you know, like just to meet her again. I would do so much to be able to meet her again. And I don't know, I felt like she kind of gave up on me, but I don't really blame her, because I was the one who moved away, and obviously she had to move on with her life, you know. But I just missed her, you know, and I don't know, it left a bitter taste in my mouth, guys. It really did. But anyways, life goes on, and after that we did not speak together anymore. And I have no contact with my Swedish friends, which really sucks. I grew up with them. To them, I mean, they probably think something different. Like, they are probably like, oh, she moved away, it's her fault. You know, it wasn't my fault though, because like, I was 12 when we moved away, you know, so it wasn't my fault really. But I mean, I get it. Like, if I was the one who was left behind and I was in Sweden still, life goes on. Life would have gone on for me. Like, let's say my best friend moved away, I would have missed her like crazy, and I would probably have written to her like so much. But I obviously don't know what they went through. Like, they went through me not being there anymore. They had to clean out my locker for me. They took my stuff from the locker and kept it, they said, because they missed me. They were sad that nobody sat in my chair anymore. Like, it was almost as if I died, like, to them. It was as if I died, because they never saw me again. Like, they said that the whole class missed me, you know, stuff like that. And I guess when you lose someone, you don't want to think about them too much. You kind of just want to move on, forget, you know. But yeah, I hope they haven't forgotten about me. Anyways, this video turned into something else. It was supposed to be about the guy who had crushed on me. Anyways, shout out of the day goes to Joan Bibuk. and they say they love the video, so thank you so much. And also to Sheikha Al-Hayuan, I'm so sorry, I probably pronounced that incorrectly, and she or he says that they love the videos and asks me how old am I. I'm 24 years old. I'm very old. And how many siblings do I have? So I have step siblings. I don't have, you know, biological siblings yet. I'm still hoping for one, but you know, it's probably not going to happen. Anyways, you guys know of Chelsea. So I have Chelsea. She's the one who I'm closest with because, you know, we all live together in the US when I'm there. And then I have two more, Rachel and then Dan. I'm pretty sure that's it. Do you have more? I don't know. I'm so confused. But anyways, thank you so much guys for watching this video. Tell me what you thought about my mukbang. What do you think about my stories? Do you want me to tell more stories about Sweden? I have so many stories about Sweden and I love telling them because I miss Sweden and I miss my friends still, even now that I'm 24. Like, it's been a long time. I can't believe I'm still missing them. But it's just like I'm a very loyal person, guys. Once you're my friend for life, unless you do something horrible. But I mean, I never forget, you know. I always, if you've become a friend of mine and you've made an impact in my life, or if I've made an impact in your life, and like, it's very hard for me to stop loving my friends. Like, I'm a really loyal friend, which is kind of like a blessing and a curse because I never move on from my friends, never. And it's sad when they move on, you know. No hard feelings, but anyways. Please go down below and subscribe to this channel, AriaVille. Turn on the post notifications so you guys know when I upload a new video. Thanks guys, and also subscribe to this channel, AriaVille, and turn on the post notifications. I said that already. Thanks for watching. Gracias por ver, and I will see you guys the next time. I'm so tired. Goodbye. Hola amigos, welcome to today's mukbang / unboxing.